Guys, welcome back on this channel right here. Just real quick, guys, I actually made a video not too long ago talking about the best books I kind of read and recommended reading list that literally took me from zero to making my first $500,000. Now, what I want to do in this particular video is break down the greatest lessons I've actually learned making more than 500k in Great British Pounds online since the day I started my actual online businesses, if you will. So what I'm going to do is jump straight into that, and all I ask for in return, because this is going to be extremely practical. I'm so tired, I'm so done with watching these gurus videos and stuff like that and just learning stuff that's not really relevant. Either learning stuff that's not really relevant, or they do a lot of talking but they're not actually saying much, or they're saying stuff but it's not really practical, if you will. So what I'm going to do in this particular video is make it very, very practical for you guys. Practical takeaways you can actually genuinely implement in your business. Like me personally, if you can't implement it straight away, then I just genuinely think you shouldn't friggin' be making a video about it anyway. So all I ask for in return is to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and turn the notification bell. Also, on my last video of me picking up my actual dream car, if you haven't watched that, go and watch that. I just literally picked up my dream car. I just want to say thank you to every single person that commented on that. I actually was able to break my first 1,000 likes on an Instagram post, which is absolutely insane. But I just want to give you guys a huge shout out to you guys for the love and support. So guys, let's jump straight into this. So my first $500,000, I've made my first $500,000. I'll put some proof on the screen. I want to break down the actual greatest lessons I've actually genuinely learned. So number one is choosing the right business model. And what I mean by this is, it doesn't matter if you're working hard, you need to be working hard at the right thing. So working hard is just given. Everybody should be working hard. And the reason why this is number one is because technically this isn't the greatest lesson I've learned. This is just one of those things that I'm assuming you guys know how to do, which is obviously a bad assumption. So I'm just making sure that I put this in there at number one. Number one is obviously you need to make sure that you're doing hard work, but you're working hard at the right thing. So is your business scalable? Is it restricted geographically? Are there ridiculous startup costs? Can you actually see people that are genuinely being successful in your particular business model? Is the business model you're actually in, is it declining in popularity or is it increasing in popularity? For example, there's no point trying to start a news agency right now because people are, like an actual physical news agency stand, if you will, because people are getting their news from online sources, YouTube, online blog posts, that sort of stuff. So there's no point trying to start a news agency, if you will, at this particular moment in time. You're better off starting something like a marketing agency for online businesses, because as you can see, look at the trends. The trends are more and more people are going online to either learn stuff or buying stuff. So if you're in those two particular businesses, info products, just anything to do with information, selling information online, it doesn't have to be a frigging course, guys. It can be like an actual genuine online program, a genuine education company, or you could do like marketing in some way, shape or form for other businesses that are online, because they're genuinely, the e-commerce space is actually increasing. So actually do real research into the business model you're going after. There's no point, in my particular opinion, when you're first getting started out, like to try start a clothing brand. In fact, this is my actual clothing brand that I'm wearing right now that I started way back, but I didn't actually get it off the ground. And that's just because the startup costs were absolutely ridiculous. If I started that business model, on average, I believe it was, the average clothing line takes around 5 years to become profitable, which means I would have been working all the way up and I still wouldn't even be profitable to this day. It's not even been 5 years yet. Whereas now I actually switched my business models to first off, started with drop shipping, didn't really get that. Well, technically it was a little bit successful with that, but then I started realizing, why don't I just take the skill of advertising and just help, local businesses first. And I moved from local businesses to e-commerce businesses. Then I moved from doing done for you services to done with you, and then do it online services. So that's basically what's happened with me. I've got multiple businesses at this point. That's the first one, choosing the right business model. I want you guys to sit down and really ask yourself, is the business model you are going after, is it scalable? Is it geographically restricted? AKA, there's no point trying to sell start like a cookie business, because there's going to be a finite cap to how many cookies you can sell unless you're selling them online, if you will. And what I mean by that is, if you open like a bakery in your local area, cool, you started a business, but realistically, it's not really a great business unless you can franchise it. And what I mean by that is, if it's just a local business, a local bakery, you can't sell your cookies to somebody in China or somebody in America if you're based in the UK, or somebody in Australia. Whereas me, I literally have clients right now in New Zealand, literally New Zealand, Australia, all over North America, Canada, UK, and a couple countries in Europe as well. So all over the globe, basically, guys. And that's because I picked a business model that's not geographically restricted. It's not restricted by borders. I can go and operate and close clients in any country, basically. Now, this second lesson is the lesson that actually made me want to create this video in its entirety. So this is the greatest lesson I've ever learned, guys. And that is what I actually call it, the law of opposites. The law of opposite states that what you want to do is you want to take a look at the population, right? And see what the average person is doing. Because if you actually Google, like what the average person makes in your country or average person makes just in general, you'll see that most people don't really, like 99.9% of the population are actually poor, or like they're not making a lot of money, if you will. Nowhere near a lot of money. So what I actually do is I say to myself, okay, cool. Well, let's look at what the average person is doing and then just literally do the direct opposite. And I actually take it to the extremes these days. And here's what I mean. So the law of opposite states that you want to look at the average kind of like population and then just do the opposite of them. Because think about it, if everybody's doing and going down one path and it's leading them to poor, well, if you do the opposite path, shouldn't that lead you to rich? You know what I'm trying to say? Because the opposite of rich is poor, the opposite of poor is rich. Well, if they're doing this thing and going down this path, what happens if you go down this path? The opposite path. So that's what I want you guys to start thinking about. I know it sounds so simple, too simple to be true, but it actually is. Let me break this down for you guys. If they watch TV, you don't watch TV, you read books. If they wake up late, you want to wake up early. If they work jobs, you don't want to work jobs. You want to create jobs. If they offer multiple services, you want to offer one service. If they watch a lot of content on YouTube, like this particular video, you don't want to watch a lot of content on YouTube. What you want to do is you want to create a lot of content on YouTube. So instead of being a consumer, be a producer. If they spend, you want to invest or save. If they're financially illiterate, you want to be you want to actually become a financial wizard. If they go down the average path, you want to go down an extraordinary path or extraordinary path. If they do cold outreach, it applies to everything in life, guys. Do you know how far I took this? I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I remember back in the day when I was first getting started, listening to mindset stuff and stuff like that, and I actually came across this. I wouldn't even say this was a law that I came across. It was just an awakening, a paradigm shift that I went through. I was thinking, okay, cool. Well, if everybody's doing this thing and they're poor, why would I go down that path? Think about it very logically, guys. If you see 100 people, you're one of 100 people, and 99 people go and walk this way, and they end up all falling off a cliff, why would you then, after the 99th person, go ahead and walk that way? Shouldn't you go and walk the opposite way if you've got two different paths to go down, and everybody goes down this path and they end up falling down the cliff and, to their demise? Why would you then be the 100th person and watch 99 people in front of you go down the same path? Isn't that stupid? Why don't you just go down the opposite path? So that's what I'm trying to say here, the law of opposites. And I took it to the actual extremes of this. I literally said to myself, okay, cool. The average person wakes up late, so I'm waking up early. The average person I'm not even joking, this is how far I took this, guys. It's actually going to sound funny when I actually say this, but the average person takes a shower standing up with the lights on. I decided, right? And you don't have to go this far, guys. This is obviously stupid. I decided though, what's the opposite of that? Well, not a bath. Obviously, I didn't really have a bath back then because I was at my parents' house and we had like a little ensuite bathroom and whatnot. But my actual direct opposite of that would be I'm taking a shower earlier in the morning with the lights off, but it's a cold shower. So normal people have warm showers standing up with the light on. I did the direct opposite of that. That's how far I took this, guys. So you want to find everything that everybody does, the average stuff, and literally do the opposite of it. They work jobs, you create jobs. They go to uni, you don't want to go to uni. Honestly, guys, I don't even recommend uni these days. I know that it's harsh to say, or I have to be careful saying it, but now these days I'm like, yo, bro, I can genuinely say this now, because if I was in uni and I followed the uni path, I am not even joking, no offense to all my friends and stuff like that went to uni, but I doubt any of them are even close to making 50k a year. I literally just hit a 76k month. That's British pounds, by the way. That's 86, that's like 86k USD. Well, it depends on the friggin' conversion rate when the time if you're watching this. So yeah, if I was literally still in university, I would have just come out, if I would have just been in a job right now, probably making like 30, 40k a year, something like that. 45 max, tops. I doubt that though. I don't even think any of my friends are actually on that. The third lesson, so that's lesson 2. That is literally the great, if I could literally give you anything, guys, it would be that. If they watch a lot of content, you create a lot of content. If they do cold outreach, you do warm outreach or build a brand. If they go to bed late, you go to bed early. If they wake up late, you wake up early. If they don't read books, you read books. If they work jobs, you don't want to work jobs, you want to create jobs. So literally just think about what the average person does and do the opposite of it. Now, the third lesson I've learned is being transparent as hell. Like if you're building like a coaching business, consulting business, or just an agency or some sort of service-based business, just be transparent as hell, guys. Like just like even me when I was starting this YouTube channel, I literally, my first ever video, and there's videos beyond that when I was struggling, I would tell you about my struggles when I was messing up, when I lost clients, when I was going through depression. Well, not depression. I was gonna say I've never actually been depressed, guys. Don't know why that came out of my mouth. Going through anxiety. I've never actually been depressed, guys. I'm so grateful for that, by the way. It's weird. I've had a lot of anxiety and stuff like that, like proper anxiety attacks and whatnot. I've never actually been depressed. You know, jinx, touch wood. I don't want depression. I really do not wish depression on anybody whatsoever. So transparency. And my actual saying for this is never cut corners or they'll come back to cut you. Never, ever, ever try to cut corners. So that's even just trying to make money, trying to get clients. So don't lie to clients. Don't try to lie and steal and cheat to get money, guys. It's only going to come back to bite you, if you will. So I actually recommend you guys, or should I say, the way how I like to say this one is be the light of hope that you would want to look for when you was actually just starting. So I want you to become that light of the end of the tunnel that people are actually looking for. You become the light itself. Don't look for the light. You become the light itself. Number 4 is dedicate yourself and your life to self-mastery and serving others. I'm not even joking. I'll post like a screenshot of one of my in fact, not one of them, it's literally my first ever Instagram post as like an entrepreneur, and I'll throw it on the screen right now, and you can literally see that in my actual caption itself, I'm there saying that I don't even own the next 8.5 years or something like that of my life. The actual grinding and self-mastery owns it. I don't own it. I'm dedicating the next 8.5 years to becoming a millionaire. The funny thing is, sat here, like I think that's 4 years and 9 months later, because we're actually it's the 23rd of October at the time of recording this, 2022. That's 4 years, 9 months. I'm actually ahead of cracking that 1 million, actually making £1 million before the age of 30, basically. So I probably cracked the 1 million mark by the age of 27, like actually physically making more than £1 million, actually making it, not just being on the run rate for it, because I know that I made a video about that on my channel. But long story short, guys, I dedicated my life to self-mastery and serving others. And here's the key to this. Here's one of the biggest keys, one of the biggest lessons as well. When you stop thinking about money and making money and stop focusing on just making money for yourself, and you focus instead on helping other people and helping them get what they want, that's when the money comes. It's so weird. It's almost like, the only way I can kind of explain it is like, imagine you're trying to chase a cat, and the cat is just so fast and so nimble and so agile that you physically cannot chase this cat. Every time you go to grab the cat, it moves or changes direction or speeds off from you or accelerates off from you or just friggin' does some ninja stuff and it tic-tacs off the wall or some crazy stuff and does a backflip or whatever it is. But long story short, you're trying to chase this cat and you just cannot physically chase this cat, and you're running, you're out of breath, you're putting all this effort in trying to chase this cat. Well, the smart thing to do instead would be to attract the cat. AKA, you could put a bowl of milk out for the cat on your lap. The cat will come and sit on your lap. So what I'm trying to say here is that instead of trying to chase the money, attract the money. The way how you attract clients is that you show them that you have what they want. You could do this through branding. You could do this through outreach as well. Well, outreach is a little bit still chasing, but even so, building a brand around your agency or building a brand around your name, like a personal brand or a brand for your agency, I feel like genuinely is the thing that's going to put yourself so far ahead of everybody else. Because, and here's why. Most people just want to send cold emails and be behind a computer and not have to speak to anybody, and just want to be able to press magic buttons and automate stuff and make money online without talking to anybody. That doesn't really work, guys, to be honest with you. I've tried all of that. I tried drop shipping, Amazon FBA. I was looking into that. I didn't really get that off the ground. I didn't really try to start that because for me, that it wasn't a viable option because of the actual startup costs. But honestly, guys, you want to focus on helping people get what they want instead of what you want. And the funny thing is, it's almost like I think it's actually called the universal law of need. Yeah, that's it. The universal law of need it states that the more you want something or need something, the less likely you are to get that thing. It's almost like, like when you chase a girl too much and you actually end up putting her off, you're too keen, you're too eager, you're an eager beaver, as we say over here in the UK. If you're an eager beaver, you're gonna actually put the girl off. Instead, what you wanna do is attract the girl. Long story short, guys, number 5 is your business, and this is something I realized a couple years ago that really changed my life. Your business, right, is only as good as the people working in your business. So to get a good business, you need to hire good people. Now, this is a really, really big paradigm shift for me because I thought that I really needed to be an expert at running Facebook ads in order to have a good agency or a successful agency. And that's not true. It's almost like being the head chef in your own restaurant. You don't actually, and I always say this, don't be the head chef in your own restaurant. And I think it was actually either Frank Kern or Dan Kennedy in one of their books. I can't remember, it kind of eludes me right now, But they said, one of them said, I don't know which one it was that said this, but they said, you're not in the business of Facebook ads. You're in the business of selling Facebook ads. It's so true, guys. You yourself are not in the business of running Facebook ads. Being in the business of Facebook ads would be being a freelancer. So you actually go and run Facebook ads for clients. Whereas being in the business of selling Facebook ads would be you're a person that sells Facebook ads and you've got a team that delivers the service. That's what you call an actual business. In fact, the litmus test for a business is if you can go away for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or whatever it is, and your business actually grows without you, that's when you know you've actually got a business. Anything else is not actually a business. It's a 9-to-5 job disguised as a business. Now, I'm not a big believer in, passive income, but a business should be able to operate somewhat without you and without your input and without you actually directly having to friggin' do the service delivery for sure. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to break down there. Your business is only as good as a team, as your team basically. So to get a good business, hire a good team. Now 6 is an actual recent realization that we all need to go through. If you're watching this, please listen to me. We all need to go through this realization. And this, I recently realized, right, that in general, we all need to move from done for you services to done with you services and do it yourself. I didn't even, you know what's crazy? I remember watching like Sam Ovens' program way back in the day, like 2018 times, but Sam Ovens was talking about this in 2017, guys. This guy is so far ahead of like his time. He's actually a legend. Like Sam Ovens is a GOAT on top of all the GOATs. And what I mean by this is like done for you services are like when you create an agency, for example, and you're running TikTok ads for other e-commerce brands, which is cool. You can get to 10K, 20K, 30K, 50K, probably even 100K per month using that with that particular business. Do I recommend getting it all the way to 100K per month? I mean, sure, why not? But I guess if that's what you're really, really passionate about. But I'm telling you right now, when you switch to done with you and do it yourself, it's almost like you go from being a commodity to being a respected entrepreneur. As in, like, you see how I just called Sam Oven a GOAT? If he was just providing me a service, I'd just see him as another service provider. But because he has an online program and he has an online presence, I now see Sam Ovens as like this genius, which he actually genuinely is. I genuinely love Sam Ovens, and he's done way more for my life than he probably could even imagine. And here's the funny thing: all I did was take his program and watch his YouTube videos. He doesn't even know I exist. Yet he's actually got me amazing results. Well, yeah, he's been part of my journey for sure, definitely. I'm not just gonna say it's all Sam Ovens, but the way how he thinks is installed into me. And I wake up with like reading my morning mindset book. I got my morning mindset book from Sam Ovens. If it weren't for that, I would literally be off track. I'd be derailing, guys. So Sam Ovens has done more for me than he would ever imagine. And he's so true, guys. Like, these days I've realized it doesn't actually matter how you're actually providing the service as long as the service works and it actually gets the person what they want. AKA, let's say you're running an agency right now and you're doing Facebook ads for an e-commerce brand, right? Let's say you're running ads for them and you take them from 10K to 100K per month, right? And you're doing that from a done for you service, which is good. You've got them the results. That e-commerce brand owner technically wouldn't care if you just gave them a program to teach their team how to do the same thing. They literally wouldn't care as long as they got themselves from 10K to 100K per month. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. People don't actually get, I know it sounds like people care about the service delivery, but honestly, even if you was buying the product yourself for your e-commerce brand owner and you got them and you spent 100K on your own ads, you clicked on your own ads and bought the product yourself and you still got them to 100K, they wouldn't care. Here's the reason why. The reason why is because they care about the end result, which is taking them from 10K to 100K or whatever your promise is or whatever your offer is, guys. It's not about the service delivery, it's about the end goal. It's not about the journey, it's about the end goal. Actually getting them there if you want. Now, done for you, right? And here's what Sam Ovens kind of reckons. Done for you, do done for you until you hit like 10K a month or 100K, 120K a year. And then switch from done for you to done with you, which is like online consulting, online coaching. And I'm not even joking, guys. I'm not even joking. I can definitely vouch for this now because this realization I came to recently. When you go from doing done for you services to done with you services, it puts you in a different light. It's almost like you've gone from being almost below your clients because you're just another service deliverer, if you will, if that even makes sense. Is that even a real word? Just a person that delivers a service. You've gone from that to being a respected person that they listen to and look up to. you will feel it instantly. Almost like every time I work with a client, it always feels like it's me going out of my way to try and convince this client to work with us as an agency, because they've been burnt by all these other agencies in the beginning, and they kind of are, they've got like a wall up working with us because they've worked with other agencies, and if we do a bad job, they're just going to switch from us to, working with someone else. Whereas when you build a personal brand and get a client through your personal brand, like an actual personal brand, and you actually get a client for a personal brand, and you actually do some consulting with them or something like that, it genuinely feels like they respect you more, they listen to what you say, and I've actually found that they actually go on to get better results. Here's why. It's their own business. They know their business way better than you will ever know their business, even if you've been working with them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years or something like that. So what's going to happen is when you actually can just teach them and give them the methodologies, the tools, the strategies, and they implement it themselves, because they know their business better than you, and you've got the knowledge, and they combine that together, it's a deadly combination, guys. Deadly combinations. So I found I actually get better results for people via done, with you, and do it yourself, if you will. Not only that, but lastly, for this particular point, it's not about selling courses, guys. It's not a lot about selling courses, but I found that if you really want to get to 100K a month, 200K a month, 300K a month, 500K a month, $1 million a month, you need to have some sort of productized service that you can sell hundreds of those in a day, or even tens of those in a day, and you still don't have to do the service delivery. And I can't think of any other business model other than having some sort of online education program or something like that you can give to somebody. And here's what I mean by that. Let's say you're trying to, get to 100K a month. What you would need to do is if you would do it yourself, you'd need to work with a whole bunch of clients to get there, depending on obviously how much you're charging. If you're charging high ticket, then obviously you might just need 10 clients or whatever it is. If you're charging 10K a month or whatever it is. But long story short, if you're doing it through do it yourself, which is like an online program, you can sell a lot of programs online, a lot of copies of your program, and not really do much service delivery. Just focus on the funnel, focus on widening your funnel, getting clients down, getting customers down, whatever you want to call them, and focusing on your actual marketing, not the actual service delivery itself. Not only that, but I've noticed that when you run an agency, you still have to put much more input into your agency than when you run like a consulting business. When you run a consulting business, I'm not even joking, I've literally been on holiday in Portugal, for example. That's one of my recent holidays, and people have actually taken my program, Agency Transmutation, which is still open for enrollment if you guys want to click below. They've taken Agency Transmutation whilst I've been on holiday. So not only have I made money, but people have actually enrolled into my program and listened to me and my training that I'm actually giving to them, and they've gone on to make money all whilst I'm on holiday. So it's a double win. I've won because obviously they purchased my program, but they only purchased my program because they knew they were going to get results, because they can see our track record. So it's not just about selling programs, guys. What I'm trying to say is that done for you will always have a limit, whether you like it or not. There's always even if you're charging extremely high ticket, there's still going to be a cap to how many people you can take on. And then when you start going over that threshold, your profit margin starts dropping. And that's not because it's SMMA or anything like that. It's just because the business model SMA is what you call a done for you service business model. That's all it is, guys. Whereas do it yourself, you can sell trillions of courses in a day. $1 million, obviously that's a crazy number, but you can sell, 20 friggin' I could sell right now, for example, Agency Transmutation. I could sell friggin' 50 copies of Agency Transmutation right now, make 50K in a day. Literally, $50,000 in a day. Well, it's technically 49,000 in a day. I could technically do that, obviously if I had the budget for I probably do have the budget for advertising and whatnot at this particular point. But if I was to try to take on 50 clients for my agency in a day, that would absolutely break us. Absolutely break us. I don't even reckon anybody, I don't even reckon if there's 5 people watching this now, I don't even think 5 of us could probably handle that in a day. To onboard 10 clients each in a day would be very stressful, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, we probably could do it in over a week's time, but it's very difficult stuff, guys. So what I'm trying to say is that the business model itself has a flaw, but you don't need to worry about the flaw in SMA until you're making 50K, 100K per month plus and that sort of stuff. So yes, it's still a viable business model. It's just that I've recently discovered or recently realized that we all should be evolving from, and this is not just me trying to get you guys to sell courses or anything like that. And what's also funny as well? I actually genuinely believe that I'm genuinely one of the only dudes that will tell you, yes, start an SMA. I feel like me and Simon was the only dudes. But yes, start an SMA, but also think about when you actually start building this, successful agency, start moving into consulting and start moving into do it yourself. creating your own online programs. What is stopping you from doing that right now? There is nothing. No, you don't need to be an expert. I know I just heard somebody say that on camera. No, you don't need to be an expert. I wasn't an expert. When I first started my actual personal brand and whatnot, I just knew a little bit more than the customers I was trying to help. That's all you need, guys. There's nobody that comes around to your crib and gives you a little medal and says, hey, Montel, you're now an expert and now you can actually come on and start creating a online program and stuff like that. So yeah, that doesn't really happen. Anyway, guys, these are just some of the, I guess, the 6 lessons there that I really want you guys to take and implement yourself. This is how I've been able to scale myself from 0 to 500K in total in revenue. That's my first $500,000, guys. And that's the lessons I've actually learned. I hope that this was practical for you guys. Take these, implement them, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe. If you guys are still interested in age traumatization, the link is below. That's my online program that helps you start your own agency and scale it to 10K per month as well. So don't forget to drop a like I said. Love you guys. Peace.